Hello everyone and welcome to Exalted Empress Tarot. If this video found you today, it was meant for you. And the question that we're asking today is, what is your next love story? I'm so excited to do this video with you. I'm very excited to hear what everyone's next love adventure is going to be. If you have not done a pick a card reading before, I'll go ahead and guide you through the process. So you're going to pick a card or a group based off of the message on the card, the image, or the crystal that goes along with that group. Once you have picked a group for you, and I will go through each one individually, but once you pick one for you, you can go ahead and skip to that pile and then look at that message. Okay, so the first group or pile is the 7 blessings of Eve, and with it we have this vial of opal quartz. The next group is Bastet of 174 hertz. And the crystals that go along with it is this vial of rose quartz. Our third group, and I may pronounce this incorrectly, so my apologies, is Devara Patra. And that goes, I'm so sorry, with this vial of clear quartz. The camera will focus on it. It's clear quartz, and then we have lavender in there as well. Little blossoms. And then our last group, which again I may pronounce this incorrectly, is Solve Paluti 741 hertz. And this group has the flower agate little nugget. So just take a moment to pick which group resonates with you the most, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hello. So if you are picked pile number 1, group number 1, the 7 blessings of Eve with the vial of opal crystals, this message is for you, and I'm going to start off with the passage for this card from the White Light Oracle about, and keep in mind this message is relevant for the question today, which is, what is your next love story? So, Eve dwelled in the original paradise, the Garden of Eden. She is the mother of knowledge. From knowledge, wisdom can be developed. Wisdom is the Ega Sophia, the divine feminine power to be a birth mother of higher consciousness, to bring forth the light of loving awareness. Eve's oracle is not an omen of being cast out of paradise. It is a sign that a false view which has been holding you captive is going to give way to a greater understanding, which will empower you to be a bearer of the light, a priestess or priest of the Ega Sophia. This oracle encourages you to seek the knowledge you need, to not be held captive by secrets or misinformation, and to know that from the knowledge you shall be able to shed false views like a snake shedding its skin and grow in wisdom. You shall know what you need to know and find your way in truth. The oracle also indicates a shift away from shame and confusion, perhaps feeling you have something to prove, or that you are not enough, or that you have to atone for a failing in this or other lifetimes. Instead, your soul is moving you toward a realization of the inherent goodness and grace that is your real nature. You are blessed. You are granted a unique, unrepeatable human life. And if you believe in reincarnation, acknowledging the soul continues to grow over many lifetimes, there will only be one lifetime when you are this you. If you treasure this life, you will become bolder, more fearless, more willing to step up as your real self, more willing to engage in healing and say yes to what makes your heart sing. Certain numbers have a sacred significance that crosses religious and cultural boundaries. 7 is one such number with significance in Hinduism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Jainism, Buddhism, Baha'i, and the New Age. The spiritual power of 7 indicates a natural charisma and capacity to be an influential channel for higher wisdom. The presence of 7 is a sign from the universe to reconnect to the sacred. The oracle of the 7 blessings of Eve is a reminder that you are a sacred being and have no need to hold yourself hostage to shame, blame, guilt, anger, judgment, or fear. Acknowledge your connection to spiritual knowledge. Pray and your prayers shall be answered. Wow. Okay. So, in summary for this one, we're shedding any false beliefs. We're getting rid of shame or guilt. And we're becoming our true selves. And we want to keep this in mind when we think about what our next love story is going to be about, okay? So it may be the case that you have been dealing with false stories. And I had a tarot deck I was going to use first and foremost for this, but I think I'll be using this one, the Tarot of the Divine. It involves a lot of folk tales, stories, myths and legends as part of its imagery. I just think that's fitting considering the card you got. So, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, can you please tell group 1 what their next love story will be? Oh, no, sorry. I like the cards to actually come out. If I have a little snafu with shuffling, I'm not going to count for me. Whoops. Let's see. The Judgment. Turned upside down. Or in reverse, I should say. Okay. This is Ace of Swords. Oh, okay. Transit Quartz, Knight of Coins. Oh, okay. You have the 8 of Swords in reverse and the Lovers. I'm gonna leave this here for this deck. It just called to me to pull some of those first. And we have Death underneath. I'm feeling called to keep that as like a relevant energy. Let's see what we can do with that. Put that there. Is that in? Okay, just know. Let's see. Move you up. And I don't always include the bottom card with my readings. Sometimes when it's called to be relevant, I do. And here's the Lovely Omens Tarot for love reading. I like keeping the color pink in theme. I know it's not necessary, but I think it's cute. Let's see. Anything else everyone needs to know about the next? That's right. Wow. Okay, so we have the 8 of Swords in reverse here, and then we have the 8 of Swords again. And I think this is really going to go along with, wow, 7 of Swords in reverse and the Empress. This is really honestly confirming itself with the original message from the 7 Blessings of Eve. Okay, 2 more cards. You know what? I'm going to hold on to those cards because if I ask for 2, my Spirit guides, they don't listen to my suggestions of how many cards I need. They just give me whatever. I'm gonna get like 12. So let's see. We have the El Qua Oracle with some advice. I love these. They're so pretty. Now, if you are Divine Masculine and you are watching, it's still relevant to you, even though all the cards in the spec are women. But ooh, hello. So we have She Who Grants Wishes. Hey, listen, look, who's this? Pearl, She Who Rises Up. Oh my gosh. I love this. I love this for you. Okay. So a big part of the message, the 7 blessings of Eve, was shedding those false beliefs, shedding shame, guilt, and having a true view on life and what's going on around you. And also the number 7 and the kind of universally divineness of the number 7. And what I like that they didn't say this, but I'm going to add this in. 7's a lucky number. I think we all know this. I think that you've maybe had a lot going on in your love life previous to this moment. And that may have led you to some pretty toxic beliefs about love. We all know, if you're one of those people who's had a lot of relationships with cheaters, you may start to think, gosh, does everyone cheat? Is everyone cheating? No. But of course, that keeps getting reflected back to you. You start to believe it. If you have a lot of distant or avoidant partners, what do you start to think? You start to think, that's everyone. That's all of them. Is that true? No. But it gets reflected back to you too many times, and you start to think there's no other truth. And at the Death card, and that being a big energy in your reading, I think that's just a confirmation that moving forward in your next love story, we're going to cut off this belief. Whatever your negative, toxic belief is that started to feel like it must be true in your life, we're going to end that with your next love story. This person's going to come in and show you what love should actually look like. I'm seeing here again, and I'm just going to say it, like, a lot of these cards are really just confirmation of that message. They're very, supportive of each other. So you're going to hear just me going back to that a lot. So the Judgment in reverse, where I'm seeing that, again, there may be some karmic, like, maybe thinking, oh, I deserve this, or this must be what I should accept in my love life. Ideas like this. And Judgment being turned on its head is telling me in this case that you're going to get something that you don't even think you deserve. This person, this love story that we're moving towards, is going to be more than you would have asked for if you were asked, what should I have in my next partner? You're being blessed with what you truly deserve, which is much more than you'll expect. And with the Ace of Swords, the aces are new ideas. They're kind of like sparkings of what we think. And in this in particular imagery is from a story of someone being told to solve a puzzle, and the puzzle is this knot. This impossible knot. And how does this person solve this, allegedly impossible puzzle? By cutting through it with a sword, okay? By not following those rules. So you may have someone come in who not only is not following those false beliefs that you previously have, or maybe currently have, feel free to drop them at any time. They're just going to be so different that you're just going to realize, you're like, oh, well, all the stuff I believed before is obviously false. That little spark, that little beginning of idea, of belief that you're like, is it even safe to truly trust this? Is it even safe for me to believe that this could be? This person's just basically going to blow the door off the hinges. of this indecisiveness and be like, oh yeah, no, this is how people should be in a healthy, happy relationship. This is how they should be if they really care about each other. So I'm excited for you. This sounds like it's going, this is going well. This is actually very drama free. Again, a lot of these cards are going to support themselves. The Nine of Coins, if you've had some sort of like financial instability, if someone has come in previously, or if you're used to a lot of like unstable partners when it comes to money, this person has their ducks in a row. That's what I'm seeing with the Knight of Coins. They're going to come in and whatever stability that you're not used to, they're going to have. So if you've, we went to a lot of people who, everything's on a credit card. This person has like no credit cards, or they're the person who like pays them off every month. If you've had someone who would borrow money from you and you're just like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, or they go half on the bills like every time when you try to eat out or something, this person's not going to bother doing that. They're not going to have to borrow money. They, everyone has different beliefs here, right? Like if you believe whoever asks should pay, then awesome. But my point is this is they're not going to be like, we're going to have these like every single time. Like they actually will believe in old school traditional rules, or they will never make you feel like they're taking advantage of the situation, or that you're not being romanced when you guys go out. So in the Eight of Swords, which we have in reverse here before the Lovers, is the traditional Eight of Swords. Neither of these are the traditional one, but the traditional Eight of Swords shows someone who is blindfolded and believes that they're trapped. And if they would just take off the blindfold, they would realize that they are not actually trapped. And so again, I think that this in reverse is showing that you're only trapped in your mind. I mean, if you look here, all of these swords are in this, I believe it's like a mule skin, donkey skin here. And this person has the hood on, but they're not trapped. They could just take that off of their head and kind of walk out of that situation. So it's kind of the same thing. This in reverse is telling me, again, you may feel trapped, whether or not you actually have something outside going on in your life. This person coming in will make you feel like you have freedom. And then you have the Lovers, this sort of Beauty and the Beast. I don't know if this is actually based off of Beauty and the Beast, but that's what it reminds me of. This Lovers card, which pretty straightforward. I mean, there's two Lovers couple cards in the tarot, and this one's from the Major Arcana. So I'm seeing whoever this person comes in, even if it's not necessarily like love at first sight. I know that everyone believes in that. This is someone who very quickly you will be around and you will feel very close to. It'll feel very natural. It's like what they always say when they're people, find their person. Oh, how'd you know they were the one? Well, you just always felt comfortable with them. You always felt like you were at home with them, right? So this is going to be someone you feel very safe with very soon, but in a different way that you may have felt comfortable or safe with those other people who it turned out wrong, right? Because when we're with the wrong people a lot, we start to feel safe with the most unsafe people. But this person, it'll be different, and you'll be able to tell both by how they support that through how they behave towards you, their financial situation, things like that, how they solve problems, but also just how you feel around them. You're just gonna feel so safe and so comfortable, like, wow, this is different in the best way possible. Then we have the Eight of Swords, again, this time upright, and it's next to the Death card, so I'm kind of feeling this is just a repeat of before, that it's over. But it may be, just spirit saying, be careful of your own inner voice, your own negative thoughts creeping back in. I think that maybe the only thing that could possibly mess with the relationship, right? You're not used to a good thing's happened, and then you're like, wow, they must be lying about something. All the other people lied, all the other people cheated. There must be something bad. Where's the bad? I know it's here. It's not gonna surprise me. Don't get too caught up in that, I mean, be mindful, keep your eyes open, but if they're proving good over and over and over again, then trust that good. But the Seven of Swords in reverse, Seven of Swords upright is usually talking about sort of trickery, someone do something underhanded, a fight that, or some kind of thing that happened that got resolved in a kind of tricky, mischievous way. But in reverse, I'm seeing that it kind of supports the Ace of Swords, right? We have the knot that's solved by cutting through it. There may be some issue early on, maybe to do with the insecurities, the old thought patterns, that kind of thing, that they may actually just talk you through, that they may actually communicate. They'll solve it in a way that you were not expecting, right? Because they're going to do it the healthy way, not the way that you've now been conditioned after all this time to accept. And with the Empress, the final tarot card, since these two are oracle cards, the final tarot card, the Empress is about feminine energy. It's about abundance. It's about things coming to you and giving yourself rest and letting the abundance come to you, which of course then is like right under the Knight of Coins and talking about fiscal kind of responsibility, stability. But yeah, with the Empress here, I'm seeing that if you put your guard down with this person, you will be rewarded. When you see this is a safe person, which may be soothed by whatever issue happens, that you guys will resolve together in a healthy way, in a safe kind of way, which really is the sign, right? And you get to a place where things, you're just like, I don't know. And then it gets solved in a way you were never expecting, and it's so positive. Then you can let your guard down. Don't make the mistake of keeping your guard up and then making them like prove that they are good. Trust once that happens, that sign like this person is someone that you can trust going forward. And then we have she who grants wishes, but the keywords here: wish, desires, hope. I mean, that's just more of the same. Like, you're getting what you wish for, you're getting what you're hoping for, what you thought wasn't possible with this person. So I see this card as support of the Judgment card, the first tarot card that we got, next to the 7 Blessings of Eves, and then she who rises up, empower, uplift, elevate. I think this is also, again, more support for that initial card, because when you realize that you're with this person and that you deserve this person, I was using a phoenix tattoo on her back, and that you can be in a healthy love and you don't have to settle for breadcrumbs, you're going to feel empowered. This person is going to empower you within that relationship. And people around you may even saying, oh, you're different. You may feel and act differently now that you have the support in the relationship that you've always wanted. So I'm very excited for you. I'm very happy with this reading and that your relationship story was so powerful. I'm going to get one more, hopefully, okay, Spirit, maybe if they'll listen to me, maybe. I'm going to pull one more card, okay, and this will end your reading for one. Okay, real quick, your cards came really quick. Let's see. Oh, this is 2 cards. See, I told you. Lost Quarter and Earth. Okay, well, let's see what Spirit wants you to know with those cards. And I will be reading from this Child of the Universe oracle book here. So just give me one. That's last quarter. I'm sorry, I said lost quarter. Let's see. 1, 3. Wow. Okay, so last quarter, shed is the first word that it says, and then it says, waiting for a miracle. The power of your soul is pushing and nudging you steadily forward. Take a moment to check in with your heart. Are you aligned with its desires still? Know you will be rewarded with the fruits of your labor, your patience, and your life's purpose revealed. This is the card that emphasizes how one properly waits for a miracle to happen. It's blessing you for your patience. Wow. I mean, everything lines up, right? You've been waiting for a relationship like this and you didn't think it can happen. With patience, perseverance, letting things come to you, I think this is going to be very good for you. Person, I wish I could see who was watching this video. Okay, let me look at that last card. Earth. Probably gonna be a grounding message, but let's see what it has to say. The planet of oneness, Gaia, 8th chakra, the soul star. Ooh, also represents the heart. Okay, I was wrong with grounding. Let's see. Let's just, oh no, see. Earth in astrology. Earth is the base ground, foundation, and framework from which astrology is perspectively drawn. We don't seem to ever stop and consider our planet as an individual entity like that of the other planets in our solar system. We inevitably leave it out of the symbolic tools that we use to explain the universe beyond and within. We're always taught about the energies that beat down upon our little blue planet, but rarely ever considered the energy that emanates or radiates from Earth itself in relation to its contribution to the whole. Consequently, we probably don't understand Gaia as much as we believe we do. The Earth is our inner identity, our deep needs, and how we are grounded. If we were to plot Earth in our natal charts, it would always appear opposite our sun sign as a new element. It only brings us a positive new layer of information in which to work with. Earth behaves like a cosmic anchor point for energy. It grounds the zodiac signs, planets, houses, and any other point it touches. Ultimately represents your earthly mission to here on Gaia. Okay, did you hear that? Grounding, and then blessings will come to you from there because we're grounding our identity, who we are. Okay, so we're getting rid of those negative thoughts, right? We're believing in ourselves. We're powering ourselves so we can be the correct person when the correct person finds us. I am so excited for you, Helen. Excited to hear about your new relationship. And I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your message. This is group number 2, 13 Bastet of 174 hertz. If you chose this pile, I'm going to start your reading with the White Light Oracle for this card. And remember, our question for today is, what is your next romance story? So, or your next love story. So 13th Bastet of 174 hertz. You've been moving so fast for so long that you're not realizing how wound up you've become. Gently unwound now to drop into a deeper, slower healing rhythm, and you'll restore your body, mind, and soul. Things would seem too difficult right now shall soon seem very manageable and even pleasurable to accomplish. The Egyptian cat-headed goddess of dance festivals, birth, healing, and sacred potions is known as Bastet. Her sacred cult was one of beauty, pleasure, and enjoyment. Worshipping her was not about ignoring the problems that are part of being alive. In fact, just as cats can see in the dark and are natural and skillful hunters, Basset was often called upon for psychic protection from hidden negativities and to secure one's life force and enhance one's vitality. In her role as healer and creatrix of magical healing potions and sacred perfumes, she integrates healing with pleasure, relaxation, and a sensual connection to the physical world of nature, including beautiful natural oils and jewels made with precious semi-precious stones. Basset shows us how to slow down and smell the roses whilst applying their perfumed oil to our bodies and breathing in their high-frequency scent to protect and soothe the heart. She is the guardian of and guide into the sumptuous feminine paradise that brings healing, a willingness to connect to earth and the body, and a capacity to experience the sacred healing, playfulness, exuberance, and natural states of joy. The healing frequency of 174 hertz is known as the pain relieving frequency. A natural anesthetic, it is a musical version of the similar low frequency purring of a cat. The cat's purr is considered medically therapeutic. It is 174 hertz and creates an experience of grounding and slowing down and evokes deep healing for body and mind and providing love and peace to organs and tissues, nourishing your bones and your soul. So slow down and take time to heal, rest, relax, and enjoy yourself. Then you can more actually be a source of positive energy. We deal with issues far more effectively from a place of peace and relaxation than from stress. If you are interested in exploring any more secret arts of pleasure, including music and sound, food, touch, and massage, healing, play, dance, celebration art, color therapy, or healing with crystals and oils, this oracle encourages you to do so. Such avenues are authentic and helpful for your soul healing. Okay, well, keep that in mind for the rest of your reading. I'm getting a lot of casual vibes for your next romance. Here we go. Let's get some tarot cards. Oh, wow. Nine of Wands in reverse. Spirit. Oh, okay. Queen of Swords. Oh, okay. So your cards are just flying. That one went straight to the floor. Judgment in reverse. Let's see. I can do it a little lower for you. There we go. I know I saw one flip over. Did you see that? Maybe it flipped all the way around. Let's see. Okay. Spirit is just having a fun time with me. Two of Pentacles. Oh, you're gonna have a very fun love story. Maybe just romance. Maybe just, having a good time. Let me try to get a few more cards for you. Okay. Yep. I mean, you know what? Your cards are very consistent. How about that? All right. Which is nice. It's one direct message. No confusion here. So as you heard with the Basset of 174 hertz, Spirit is saying that this time is one for slowing down, relaxing, enjoying you, doing things that heal you, keep you at peace, enjoying perfumes, maybe, some bath bombs, some you time, massages, and in quotations, sensual time, okay? So this is all things that can lead to your healing. I'm seeing, especially with the Nine of Wands in reverse, and then the Queen of Swords in reverse, and then Judgment in reverse. Nine of Wands is feeling like you just are beat up. Okay, that things you tried something, maybe you got out of a relationship, or maybe you've just been on the apps for what seems like an eternity, and you may just not have the emotional bandwidth right now. Time, emotional bandwidth. You can't be catfished one more time, okay? The Queen of Swords reverse, people may not be truthful with you. I mean, who hasn't said that about the apps, right? You go into a date, you go to meet somebody, they're a completely different person than what you saw on the app, or they have a completely different interest. You get my point. Like, you're kind of done right now, maybe temporarily, with looking for a very serious person. Or if you are looking for a very serious person, this is a time where maybe you want to change your strategy. Instead of go, app, doing like 3-4 dates a week, if you're able to do that, which, by the way, whenever I hear someone's doing like 3 or 4 dates in 1 week, I'm just like, that's so impressive. But my point is maybe that pushing yourself vibe and trying to get it done, well, admirable, because you're trying to reach a goal here, you're trying to make things happen and be proactive, just either aren't for you or aren't for you at this time. You've just been doing it for too long. And this Judgment in reverse, and especially with this specific card for Judgment in reverse, I'm getting the feeling from the spirit like you shouldn't even want to hear it. You don't want to hear anyone telling you that if you want a man, if you want a wife, you need to be more serious about being out there. You heard it, this is not the time. This is a you era. And you can be casual and still find the one. I wouldn't purposely put those two things together. But what you could do is just see where things go right now and go at your actual pace. Go where your actual bandwidth is. If your bandwidth right now is just hanging out and seeing where things goes and focusing on you and focusing on making sure that you're rested, relaxed, that your hair looks good, your nails look good, and that you have plenty of me time and you can binge watch your favorite show on Netflix, do that. If you're only seeing one person on an actual date a month that's new, but you're not stressed out about it, maybe that's better. Maybe it's one quality date a month versus all these dates that are just awful. Because then what? Then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You go on these dates, they're all awful, and then you're just like, all dates are awful. Whereas that one date, even if it doesn't turn into a serious relationship, you're like, oh, that person was chill. That person was nice. We had a great conversation, picked a great restaurant. Yeah, it didn't turn into a relationship, but at least you got to enjoy your time because you're sending up better vibes. 1 second, my tea is ready. 1 second. I'm back. I have my tea. Okay. So, what I'm saying for this is taking things slow, making sure you get what you need spiritually, okay, emotionally, making sure you're taking care of yourself. And that's the best foot to have forward before meeting other people and starting new relationships. With the Two of Pentacles upright, Two of Pentacles is about balance. It's about having a couple of things up in the air and managing them. Even if you're just barely managing them, you're managing them. Okay? And, if you're out there and you're being casual, you may be balancing some things, people. Okay? And what Spirit's saying is right now, for you, that's a good thing. You've got it under control. You're not getting crazy out there with how casual you can be, and that's a good thing. The only thing I would kind of give a side eye at is the Page of Cups in reverse. It doesn't have to be bad. It could just be that instead of going out and putting your feelings out there for a new person, that right now you're kind of keeping any feelings that come up more to yourself, which if you're casual and you're maybe talking to more than one person, that's a good thing. You don't want to tell every third person that you're in love with them and want to start a new life together, that obviously wouldn't be authentic. So, you know, depends how much we're doing this, right? We don't want to completely close ourselves off, but with the Page of Cups in reverse right here, it could just be that, you know, you're being responsible, not telling everyone that they're the new love of your life. So now that we got those cards done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take out these cards from the Tarot of the Divine. See what, oh, there's anything else? Wow. Yeah. We got 3 of Wands, 5 of Cups, the Devil in reverse. Don't freak out when you see the Devil card. It's also in reverse, so that's the better. Okay, you know, Spirit just doesn't even care. I'm barely having to shuffle your cards, and just your message is coming. If you have one more card just to finish it, Spirit. Now that I just want one, you know, it's not gonna come out. Okay. Okay. 2 of Swords, and then I also have Page of Wands in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. Okay, well, we're just going to put these on the side for now, okay? So what I'm seeing here is kind of more behind the scenes on how you're feeling right now. Your reading has a lot of reversal cards. I wouldn't read too much into that. Just always interesting, and most of the cards are in upright. So, 3 of Wands. Planning has kind of been put on halt at this time. So, planning a relationship, planning a future with a specific person. Again, with this is the 5 of Cups. This is, you know, a feeling of sadness. It's, you know, having to let things go, especially this version of the card. So this deck in particular is myths, legends, fairy tales from around the world. I don't know the specific story for this 5 of Cups sword, but it may be La Llorona. I have to check. But as you can see with the person, someone's pulling her back or is holding onto her, trying not to go into the water. And she's upset. Clearly she's crying over it. I don't know if she's turning her back. Let's see if it says for the 5 of Cups who this is specifically. This is La Llorona. So, I'm not going to go too much into the story because it may be a bit of a trigger, but yeah, this is maybe breaking up a relationship that you didn't want to break up, but you realized it wasn't working. Maybe there was a plan for something more and it just wasn't working out. I just feel like with the planning in reverse, with the 3 of Wands, looking towards the future is in reverse, basically the 3 of Wands. The Devil card is in reverse. The Devil card is addiction, it's bad habits, toxic relationships, but in reverse. I'm seeing that you kind of dodged a bullet in a way. You saw things not going in a good way and you left. So this could be an actual relationship. It could be much more minor and just like the way you're approaching relationships and dating. But whatever you did that you're kind of feeling guilty about, you did the right thing. You did the right thing, and all the more reason to maybe keep things casual for this time. I mean, don't push yourself to be in a serious relationship and then right after it be in another serious relationship, because, back to back when you've invested so much of your life into another person or with another person, it's really hard and you don't want to drag baggage from one thing into another thing. And then we have the 10 of Swords in reverse. and then the Two of Swords. So the Ten of Swords in reverse, Ten of Swords is usually something is over when it's upright. When Ten of Swords is in reverse, that means we're holding on. And since I have the Five of Cups with the Three of Wands and the Devil in reverse, I don't feel like you're holding on so much. I feel like this is all about your process of release and letting go. I think they may be holding on, especially since we're seeing these hands that are reaching out of the water here. We're seeing the hands reaching out of the water there. I think this person may be making healing, or the situation may be making healing difficult because they keep reaching back out. And you're having to maybe say no multiple times. Or, you know, again, if this is something more minor, if you're on the apps, you may have, you know, get all those pinging notifications. And you're like, oh, but like people have messaged me, I should da-da-da-da-da. Or your friends keep telling you, oh, you should get back out there. Again, I'm just feeling like you made the right choice, and you have to keep making the right choices for you, even if it's hard. If you have to like block people, if you have to turn the app notifications off, if you have to maybe quiet some things in order to move forward and heal yourself, then do so. We have the Two of Swords here, which is a choice, but I want to go ahead and tell you your other two cards. So we have Page of Wands and the Lovers in reverse. So with the Page of Wands in reverse, I'm seeing that, again, more of a confirmation of just like not taking action when it comes to getting into another relationship again, another serious relationship again. Same with the Lovers in reverse. I would say in this case, it would be the Lovers in like a literal sense and not a full relationship. It's like, and at most, a kind of warning, hesitation from spirit before getting yourself into, let's say, a situationship where like you're not in a relationship, you just only are around this one person casually. Like, I wouldn't try to like blur the lines there. If you see yourself doing that where you're around a particular person too much before you are ready, you know, I would really take a pause and, you know, make a choice here. Like, is this, if you don't want something serious, don't keep people in limbo, because I mean, it's not going to do anything for either of you. So, yeah, let's get away from that. Okay, so we have another deck, and I'm going to ask Spirit some advice for you. This is the El Qua Oracle deck. We can just get one or two cards. Spirit, one or two cards, please. My spirit guides don't listen to me, so I'll ask for one or two cards and the other five. But let's see. Just advice for this person and their next love story. Cards like wants to come out, but not really. Let's see. She who knows. Wisdom, clarity, resolution. I love that for you. I don't even feel like I need to get out another card. Okay? She who knows. You know exactly what you want right now. Hey, this is not all the way in frame. 1 second. We're going to roll that up so you can see the description. You know I'm not making this up. She who knows. You know exactly what you want right now. And if you're a divine masculine, you know what you want right now. Don't worry that it's a Yelena. Okay? This is about you making the correct decisions for you. I'm going to pull one last card, just one, I promise, from the Child of the Universe deck. It's Oracle for anything else that Spirit might want to tell you on this topic on your next love story. Okay. Okay, that is more than one. That is so many more. One, so I'm sorry. I'm going to try again. Sorry, I'm very particular about the cards that I take out. I don't want it to look like I just dropped a couple. I don't want it to look like one has already been turned the other way. If like 12 drop out and I ask for 3, I don't want 12, that's way too many. I want to make sure that the message I'm getting is actually the message you're supposed to be getting, and I stick by that. Another problem, these are very new cards, so sometimes Spirit, please don't be mad at me. Just one card, just one. There you go. Okay, this is 4 cards, but we're gonna take the top one. We're gonna take Pluto. Give me one moment. Let's find Pluto for you. Okay, so we have Pluto, the planet of secrets, death, and rebirth. See, this is why I go for the specific card, right? If we're in our casual era, you know, it's a death of a cycle. We're going into a new cycle. Probably you're gonna be moving in silence, right? Some secrets while we're figuring ourselves out and working on ourselves. So Pluto is the farthest from our sun as the outermost planet in our entire solar system. If Pluto is a planet, again, who knows? It is small in mass but packs a potency unlike that of any other planet greater in size. It represents transformation, death, and rebirth, responsible for the destruction of the old in order to create space anew. Things can get ugly when Pluto appears, so we can either accept and channel its intense energies, or it will leave us behind a massive destruction to wallow in our own misery. Intense. Boop. Pluto lords over the underworld of the subconscious mind. It's focused on uncovering mysteries, secrets, and shadowy depth that are veiled from obvious sight, both in society and our subconscious. Pluto is about descending into the realm of our own underworld in order to rebirth ourselves into the light. It's the astrological key to unlocking and transforming energy. Okay. In lessons, I just want to read this one last sentence. Pluto forces us to address the shadows of our mind, particularly the aspects we unconsciously hide from ourselves. Okay. Love that for you. So, basically, our shadow self. I think this goes back to the Judgment card in reverse, which ironically is the card that Pluto is on. Also, the symbol on here. The symbol for woman. See that? In focus. Symbol for woman. But we shouldn't be judging ourselves at this time when we're working on us, when we're working on healing, or we're working on being at peace. And maybe for you, being casual and being in a less focused relationship is part of that. So please don't beat yourself up for not immediately wanting to be in a relationship but still want attention. Please don't beat yourself up about any of this, really. We all need time to heal before we move on, and quite frankly, being in a casual relationship or, playing the field sounds like fun. So I definitely won't judge you. I hope you enjoyed this message, and I will see you next time, and please like and subscribe. Bye. Hello, this is the Exalted Empress Tarot, and our question for today is, what is your next love story? If you picked pile 3, you have 38, and excuse my pronunciation, the Devra Patra, which is the Holy Grail, according to the White Light Oracle book. And I'm going to go ahead and read you your card, your theme card for this pile. Out of confusion, a clear and progressive pathway is opening up for you. It is an auspicious time to give generously of yourself to others, enriching the quality of your connections, expressing spiritual blessings of goodwill and encouragement from your heart. A powerful blessing is entering your world. A prayer is now being answered in a beautiful way. Spirit gives freely and generously of all good things, and the task of humanity is to learn how to receive. The key to receiving is an open, surrendered, generous, and trusting heart. The Holy Grail is a sacred chalice. It is a powerful, living, regenerative, and deeply healing symbol of hope and blessings. It will interact with each soul in its own way. For your soul, that may involve a recognition that the light is always seeking you, wanting to fill and heal and bless and protect you, to initiate you into awareness of the realms of light, beauty, and divine presence. It may remind your heart to receive that you are capable of being a channel for goodness, grace, abundance, and pure light. It may be recognized as a sign of a future blessing, of something truly desired, finally coming to pass. The sacred grail is hope. It is blessing. It is both a portent of fulfillment and the inner means by which we connect with the loving language of light and truly receive. In Sanskrit, patra means goblet or vessel. It is not only an object, but can be a teaching or even a sublime teacher or heavenly being within whom we can dwell. It is that which holds us in a loving way, our soft place to fall. Learning how to receive, we also learn how to be received, how to be fully beheld, which is an expression of unconditional love. When we experience being so loved, we learn how to love in such a way too. We become a true receiver, nurturer, and protector of the heart. The sacred chalice reminds us of our potential to hold, but also of the generosity of the universe in providing for us, so we too be held and receive all we need. Dvara is a Sanskrit for a pathway, an opening or portal, a doorway, or even a means or method. The oracle of Dvara Patra indicates the way for our deepest fulfillment is via the receptive faculty of the sacred feminine. Feminine way is organic, creative, responsive, spontaneous, and effective. It is not constrained by our human perceptions of what is or is not possible. To honor and empower the sacred feminine genius in our lives requires a considerable shift away from mainstream conditioning into spiritual surrender, allowing her method rather than blocking her loving creativity in our lives, entails the movement from head to heart. That means you will not necessarily understand how a situation will work out, yet you will feel inner guidance to proceed in a particular way. Keep that in mind for the rest of your message, okay? So new things are unfolding. You're not necessarily going to know how that is, but Spirit encourages you to welcome the divine feminine. So that is receiving, okay, something coming in and you not having to be necessarily proactive for that. Just kind of seeing what happens and accepting what speaks to you and not accepting things that don't speak to you. So let's see what other messages Spirit has for you as far as your next love story. Oh. Just telling the other pile this. I try to be very particular which cards I take. Okay, we have the 6 of Wands. Doesn't look straight to me. Right. Oh, okay. 8 of Cups. The King of Pentacles. In reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. Interesting. Ace of Wands, and then we have Ace of Swords and 9 of Swords. I have been doing a mix of different tarot decks for some of the other piles, but I'm going to go ahead and finish your reading here with these cards. Just 1 second. Great, I have 3 more cards to clarify this message. I have the Star. Awesome. And, ooh, okay. The King of Cups in reverse. And then the Magician. This is really interesting. Definitely not everything Spirit has to say on this case. But just to go over everything real quick. So the first thing we have is the 6 of Wands in reverse. So when I see the 6 of Wands in reverse, what I'm thinking is you came back from a situation feeling like you didn't win, if that makes sense. So this is a relationship. Maybe it's there's something that you had with someone that you started and it never became official. Maybe it's something else that just affected the relationship, but there's some sort of like in quotations like win that didn't quite happen. And with the 8 of Cups in upright, we have feeling that it's time to go. I'm getting that there was a more long-term relationship that whether you left or they left, there was an overall feeling that it needed to end. The King of Pentacles and the Queen, those are separate. The King of Pentacles in reverse, this talks about finances, it talks about physical things. I don't know if money specifically had to do with why this relationship kind of was a cycle that ended, but I feel like it could be other things. It could be, moving in together didn't happen. It could be, maybe there were some things that you wanted to get together, buy together or something, some big purchase, and it didn't feel like for some reason. It just feels like something to have to do with fiscal something. Maybe someone wasn't secure in their job. Like there was something about it where it was like the pieces just were not falling into place in the past. And I'm sorry that I'm giving you a lot of the past when this is supposed to be your future relationship, but we will work towards that. For the Queen of Wands in reverse, I feel like this is saying that you are usually very much a proactive person. You're usually a very passionate person, and this situation kind of zapped that from you at that time. But the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords is telling me that is temporary. Like you just kind of need to get out of this funk that you have right now and start thinking about ways, and maybe you already have, of how you can jumpstart this new love life for yourself. I'm getting the feeling that you already know this, that you clicked on this pile, you clicked on this reading, and you're kind of like, I don't know what I should do next. Maybe I'll hear some good advice on this thing. So I'm telling you, which hopefully you think is good advice, you were on the right track, and that, I'm glad you're getting out of this funk. We don't need to stay in funk land for an extended period of time. Okay, and the aces in tarot are usually, they're new ideas, they're a new beginning, they're the spark of something. We're not well into the idea, we're just starting it. And Wands is passion, Swords is, the truth, it's facts, it's, thinking from an educational perspective. So I feel like, the wheels are turning kind of in your mind, like being ready for something new, moving forward from the past. Like you're kind of getting there. Even if you don't feel like you're quite there yet, you're definitely getting there as far as feeling that can do something new. Now, with the Nine of Swords upright, this will be my one kind of caution for this. Is Nine of Swords is, in the traditional tarot, you'll see someone who's having a nightmare. And the thing is this person who's having a nightmare, they're in their own head. They're in their own head. Nightmares are not real. They're just our thoughts playing out as a movie in our mind. Whatever you're thinking is this big bad thing, as far as moving on, or if there's something that's haunting you from your past, like, don't listen to that. That is not the truth. Okay? And whatever it is, you can either overcome it, move through it, or it's not even actually happening. So when you're trying to move forward into something new, don't think about like, oh my God, the last person, or oh my goodness, this person did this thing and that's like what my last person did. We're moving forward. We're doing something new. And we don't need to linger on the past. With the Star, I love this card. The Star is all about healing. So the fact that we got the Star upright after Nine of Swords, I feel like, the faster we kind of, and don't necessarily push yourself, but, once you're able to get out of this kind of like funk, this negative thinking, you will start to heal. You probably already have been doing some healing if you're already thinking about, I might be ready to get into something new, that's, truly something positive. It's a step in the right direction. And the Star with that is like the definitive card of healing. So keep that in mind. We're already making good steps. We're already making progress. And then we have the King of Cups in reverse. So the King of Cups is about our feelings. It's reaching the height of our feelings. And in reverse, I'm seeing that you may not be completely honest with yourself about your feelings at this time. So when we're moving on to something new, we want to not do that, right? Even if you're not beating yourself up, like shutting our feelings down is also not a great thing to do. You don't want stuff in your past to like violently come up, or just like, you don't want to be triggered by something from the past in your new relationship. So please, what I'm really seeing here, and I'm just gonna kind of skip over the King of Cups into the Magician, is that you have so much power in how your love story goes. You have so much power in your love story goes. The Magician is the card from the Major Arcana that has all the other elements involved in it. And basically what that symbolizes is that you have all the tools you need in order to accomplish your goals. So I'm seeing someone who, especially with the Queen of Wands, even though it's in reverse right now, someone who has a level head, someone who's a good planner, someone who can protect themselves, someone who is a do not F with me type of individual. And when you have a goal, you usually go for it, even though we're being told by Spirit, okay? We're being told by Spirit that we can relax and be in our feminine energy. Don't forget our card in the beginning, okay? But you're normally someone who is very goal oriented, and you move towards your goals and you're good at it. And what I'm seeing here, the only thing that can hold you back is you. So there's a group of people watching this, and any one of you, okay, all of you have many different, completely different love stories, okay? They might be absolutely 100% completely different from each other, but what you all have in common, if you pick this pile, is that you will get the relationship that you're looking for, because that's the kind of person you are. You're goal-oriented. You just kind of have to get out of your own way right now, and that may take time. That may take more time than you need, but as long as you don't listen to negative thoughts and make sure you're being honest about your feelings, whether it's your feelings towards another person when you're dating, or it's your feelings towards dating right now overall, I think you'll be able to move forward at a healthy pace that works for you. Okay? So don't question yourself too much. Don't put yourself in a place where you're like, oh, I don't know. Let me ask everybody else's opinion. Everybody else isn't living your life, and I can guarantee you everyone else is not goal-oriented. So don't worry about that too much. Worry about how you feel and how you feel moving towards new people. So I am going to ask Spirit for some advice on what you should do. And if Spirit loves to give me as many cards as it wants, I would like 3 cards. But we'll see what happens. Spirit, can we get 3 cards possibly about advice on her next love story? She who hopes, oh, love, hope, relationships. What'd I say? She who whispers secrets, confession, confidant. Okay. Let's see if we get one more. She who stands. Wow, when Spirit is nice to me and only gives me 3 cards when I ask for 3 cards. Okay, resolute, implacable, determined. So I am actually going to read from the book for these ones. Because, I mean, I know Renee love, hope, relationships. It's pretty straightforward. But, and this is the Princess and the Frog story. Just saying. Did this come out before the Disney? Maybe, I'm not sure. But let's see. Renee, she hopes, perched on a bridge to get acquainted with the frog below. Even though she's already kissed a few frogs, haven't we all? She's willing to give it one more shot. She does not allow past disappointments to keep her from opening up her heart. Once again, what did I say? The cards are always aligned. Her crown shows she knows herself to be a queen already. Queen of Wands, maybe? I don't know. She has no need to be completed by someone. However, there is room in her world for a partner who will stand beside her to support her and to love her. Renee believes in the sanctity and power of love. The message of this card is to never give up hope. Your dreams of love are possible regardless of any history indicating otherwise. When you are able to look back and see how every connection has brought you to this place, you begin to build your own bridge from loneliness to happiness. Always remember, you must crown yourself first. For no one else can make you see your own path, your own worth, if you don't already own it. Believe in love, believe in the lessons of the past were simply to give you opportunities to become the amazing human you are now. Again, self-explanatory. I think it supports the rest of the reading. I'm going to read a card. Buena Reconcha. Sorry. It's all like French names. Okay, let's see. Secrets, confessions, confidant. She whispers, knows how to keep a secret. You won't pry anything from her lips. She's the quintessential vault who holds all the lies and all the truths of the world. Her smoky quartz headdress helps remove negative energy. Good. In fact, it is said to transform it into positive energy. It is her role to hear all the confidences of all who come to her. Concha, Latin for confident, never judges. I'm sorry, it's Latin. I still don't speak Latin. She simply listens. This card reveals that all of us had secrets. It may be time to release yours now if they have become a burden. And then again, both these cards I feel like are mentioning the Nine of Swords. If you have negative thoughts, let them go. They're just getting away of you in your next relationship or prince. If you are concerned about being judged, look into your own heart first for compassion. Sometimes we convince ourselves that our secrets are uniquely deep and dark. When we expose them to the light, we may discover others the same fears. If someone has entrusted you with their secrets, honor their confidence. Okay. And then Valencia, resolute, implacable, determined. Again, I think this is very much Queen of Wands and the Magician's energy, which is probably why she's on top of those cards. Okay, she who stands embodies the spirit of resoluteness. Her hair is tied back, revealing the determination in her face. Her bloodied sword rests in her hand. She is not holding it to defend herself. Instead, she clutches it to support herself after a hard-won fight. Part of her would like to run, but the stronger part insists she hold her ground. The fierce, tough skull on her right shoulder reminds her it is wiser to fortify her position. For now, Valencia holds her place. Those who would call her implacable would not be wrong. This message of this card is to stand your ground. The thing you've been working so hard to obtain will be in your possession soon. What did I say? You are goal-oriented and you get what you want. Do not give in to the urge to give up. Let this card serve as a reminder to your own resolution. Acknowledge where you've been. Look at where you are now. Tie your hair back, roll up your sleeves. Now you must, and it actually says that in there. I just want you to know I didn't make that part up. Now you must prove you have earned this spot. You will not be put aside easily. This moment will determine your own strength of will. Do not waver. Look them in the eye. Hold their gaze. Show them your implacable stance. Now, that might be a bit of intense eye contact on a date. However, I think this is saying everything that I've been saying for this whole reading. You have the power to get what you want. If you want a love story, know that you just need get these negative thoughts out of your head. Work on the inner emotions, whatever we're not working on. That's really what's gonna hold you back. If you want to be proactive, but it sounds like you're someone who's very proactive. Okay, we're gonna hold back from right now, because Valencia, I like her energy, but maybe not today, right? She's a little intense. And I'm gonna have to keep that feminine energy and be relaxed. So if you want to be proactive about healing yourself. Be proactive about healing what you're not working on, okay? But maybe you're too much in a funk thinking, oh my goodness, I'll never meet someone. Yes, you will, okay? We need to look within, take our time. And by doing that, we work on ourselves, you'll draw in that person that is meant to you, I promise, okay? So we have one last card. Just one. I will not let the spirit give us 5. And these cards are from the Child of the Universe Oracle deck. Okay. I said what I said and I said it. That was like 6 cards. We just need one last card representing, I think Spirit thinks we need to hear about this group. Next love story. Okay. This was, Okay. I'm sorry. There's 4 cards here. These 2 are on top. I'm going to take the top 2. Please don't hate me for kind of cherry picking, but these are the top 2. And New Moon was the top one, and Fate was the second one. And maybe I am taking Fate too because it looks really cool because it's a palm reading. Okay? Don't judge me. I'm making this decision for you, so yeah. I'm sure I'll wear advice. One second. New Moon, where are we? 121. I saw part of the message already. Love. Second, we've got I thought I might be on the wrong page. 26. Okay. There we go. The new moon is the beginning of a new cycle. Well, that makes sense. So you need love story. It's time to plant the seeds of new beginnings, ignite new dreams, not nightmares. Take time for introspect and gain clarity on your goals. Each new moon is a clean slate filled with fresh prospect, high hopes, and powerful energies of inspiration that are here to help you align with your dreams. It's a sign that change is coming. Set your intuitions and listen closely to that spark that calls you to new positive future direction. When this card presents itself, it's confirming that it's time for you to start manifesting your desires. Plant the seeds for new beginnings. It's time to focus your energy and get ready to take a leap of faith. Allow the vibrations of the new moon to awaken your inner life and fresh perspectives and promptings. It's helping you with a bigger version of yourself for the future. It's asking you to dream beyond the borders of the world, to trust in the beautiful power of intention and imagination, and know that all dreams are possible. What do you want to manifest? What is it that you desire? Know that by tapping into your tools of inner guidance, intuition, wisdom, and you will be able to set the wheel in motion. Enjoy the first spiritually inspired step of your new journey and get ready to catapult yourself into a whole new cycle. Did I not say that you've already probably made a first couple of steps just by clicking on this today? You're already moving forward. We're not doing the nightmares, the Knight of Swords. We're going towards our dreams, or being introspective. With the King of Cups in reverse, we're looking inward at those things we may not want to pay attention to that we need to in order to move forward in relationships. Let's see. Feet. 376. I hope you're having as much fun as I am right now. I'm having the time of my life over here reading your next love story. I'm excited for you. Can't wait to see what happens. Okay. Fate. Fate is in the palm of your hands. Now is the time to take action. Wow. Wow, what did I say to the magician? You have all the tools you need. Not only does this card indicate that you will be undergoing a great and total changes, it also underscores that you will recognize the coming tide and be able to make the most of it. This is a very spiritual and karmically oriented time. Remember, change is part of the cyclical nature of life. Do not fear it. Fate is a positive card to draw in a reading. It's letting you know that you're in sync with the universe. So pay attention to synchronicities now so you can understand what it's trying to tell you. Try to align with your destiny by observing the sequence of events that have led you to this moment of your life. When the Fate card is transiting your reading, it's representative of fortune and fate being on your side. It is like having a lucky ace in your pocket. Essentially, this card denotes that you're able to co-create your desires with the universe. Granted, the magician again, granted, you know exactly what it is you want. Again, things you said this whole reading. Don't be fooled. It won't allow your wildest fantasies to come true, but rather it states that your desires are within your reach and the universe is conspiring to help you in your goal. Because the universe is in harmony with your desires, the how is left up to the intricate patterns and cycles of the universe. The law of odds and fate is on your side with this card. The more you pursue something you want, the more likely you are to receive that energy in return. So take advantage of it. Okay. Awesome. So what I will take that is new from these cards, especially the Fate cards, is that there seems to be some sort of synchronicities that you'll see moving forward. So signs, synchronicities, I don't know if you already believe in that. I know I do. But if you start seeing things align, paying attention to that, okay, like the book says, it's trying to show you something. It's trying to point you in the right direction. I loved this reading so much. Pile number 3, that is all I have for you. I can't wait to... Someone please come back in the comments and tell me what happened. I get these readings and then they don't get to know what happened. So please, if you feel so inclined, come back, let me know what happened. And again, this is the Exalted Empress Tarot. Please like, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 4, and welcome to your reading for what is your next love story. If you picked this pile, then your main theme card is Solveig Polluti, 741 Hertz, and my apologies in the pronunciation. I'm going to read from the White Light Oracle deck. Let me go ahead and tell you what your theme for your reading will be. So, tune into your heart and you'll be able to find your way through any negative or toxic situation. Engage in self-healing and space clearing. Commit to regular practice that help you connect to your inner light. Your light shall not be overcome by any darkness or negativity. Take time to clean your heart and mind of negativity by focusing on the driving beings that bring joy to your heart. It is appropriate for you to desire your own personal and sacred space and exit it daily. We live in an age of heightened environmental, emotional, and spiritual pollution. During such a world age, it takes more work to experience clarity, purity, and originality. Often, the bulk of our challenge is simply warding off further negative influences and attempting to dislodge the toxins and permeating our energy field, psychologically, physically, and emotionally. The onslaught continues with chemical toxins in food, polluted oceans, and the bombardment of electromagnetic radiation. And technological development lacks commiserate wisdom, such as the current case. Progress contains a shadow side of harm for our planet and creatures, including us humans. Higher beings are lovingly and faithfully working to assist souls in the transition from fear to love-based inner orientation and to become strong and to ward off further negative influence and reverse the toxic culture within themselves and our world. A shift is available for hearts, willing to exchange the constant battle with the lens of negativity for being a source of light, love, and peaceful abiding on this planet. When these hearts reside in our inner place of purity, they're able to bring unconditional love and spacious primordial wisdom into our world for the spiritual benefit of all beings. With their positive enthusiasm for the healing of all beings, they can do much good in the world. To be around such hearts instills peace and relaxation, hopefulness, and vitality within the soul. The frequency of 741 hertz cleans things up. Solve polluti is a Latin expression which means to clear pollutants and toxins. This frequency focuses on clearing, freeing the hold of negativity and allowing it in a natural way, a bright, beautiful manifestation to unfold. This frequency works to clear infections and electromagnetic radiation from the body. It also attunes one to the harmonics of the quantum field, the reorganizing principle of the higher self, which knows what you are and how to dislodge and disengage from what which is inauthentic and destructive to your radiant being. When this oracle appears in a reading, is to call to clear yourself and your space in ways that feel affirming, inspiring, and beautiful to you. Trust that no matter how much gunk of the ego-driven actions of humans might generate, it is no match for the power of spirit at play in willing human hearts. May all such hearts join with spirit and with each other to clear and bless the futures for the greater good. Alright, okay. We'll keep that in mind for the rest of our reading, and we'll probably get some clarity on that and how it affects your future love life. Clearing negative energy is pretty straightforward, but let's see. I don't want to see too much before I've gotten more cards out. So Spirit, are there any more cards you can get? What the collective know about their future? Okay, this one definitely wanted to come out. This is Ace of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Three of Wands. Let's have less cards. That was that was an extensive, exhaustive amount of cards. That was great. Some jumping cards today. It's an interesting reading. The Hangman in reverse. Four of Wands. Four of Swords in reverse. Interesting. Okay, let's see. I think all of these can fit in your readings. We have Five of Wands in reverse, Eight of Cups, interesting, Six of Pentacles, the Lovers in reverse. You know what? I feel like I should leave that and not go to that space that's here, but I will, don't worry, we'll get a crush there. Eventually, this is a really interesting pile. I'm getting the feeling that you are just ready. You are ready. You have done a lot of healing. And you were like chomping at the bit for your next relationship. But not in a bad way. Not in a like I'm rushing and the blinders were completely on kind of way. Instead, I would say the feeling, again, is that you have done so much within yourself that I feel like your next topic is going to happen very quickly. Like you may be very surprised about how quickly you find your next person. So, first of all, I see the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So there's some sort of idea or person, situation that didn't quite work out at first, but then immediately after that we have the Three of Wands, which is planning and looking forward for the future. So whatever it is, whether or not you know exactly what that situation was, or you don't, you haven't realized it yet, it's something that you're just gonna jump past. It's gonna be a blink of an eye. It's gonna be like, oh well, that was the wrong person. Especially if you're on the apps or you have like a game plan for finding your next person already. You may even do this repeatedly where you're just going past the people who, quite frankly, just like do not matter. And no disrespect to them, but you're on a mission. You want a new relationship, so if they're not your person, let them find whoever their person is. You gotta find whoever your person is. We're moving forward. The hangman in reverse. So the hangman, in quotations, upright, but the hangman would be upside down if it was upright. Is waiting. They're waiting for their divine timing for something to happen. But since the hangman in this case is reverse, aka upright, this would say that now's the time. This is it. So with your 19, your card here, your main theme card, the 19 Solvay Polluti, I'm getting that you already did that. I'm seeing that as your past. Not that we don't have shadow selves and we don't have things that we're working on, but I'm really getting the feeling that you did the hard work. You're kind of moved past that, because it's like person that's not, or situation that's not really worth it. Then we're planning, we're moving. This is the time. Four of Wands is a home life. It's a stable home life. I don't think you're gonna like take a foot outside and immediately get married, but I think you're just very much looking forward, moving towards your goal. And I'm just seeing this repeated again and again in the cards. The Four of Swords upright would be rest. You have it in reverse. I think we're seeing a pattern here, right? Like Spirit is saying this person has a jetpack on when it comes to finding the next person in their life, and I think you deserve that fast forward, honestly. It was you did all that work on yourself. What was it for if it wasn't to help clear the path of unnecessary drama? Five of Wands in reverse right here. Five of Wands upright is bickering, squabbling, and it's reverse. I'm seeing lots of that. I'm seeing that, maybe we're learning to have better communications and conversations in our next relationship. And I think it's kind of interesting at the end. You have the Eight of Cups in reverse, Six of Pentacles upright, and then the Lovers in reverse. When I'm saying the Eight of Cups in reverse, Eight of Cups is usually, something that was going pretty well that you still decided wasn't for you for whatever reason. It's in reverse, so I'm seeing there may be something you are holding on to from the past, but I don't think it's that big the hindrance, because we have that card in reverse, and then we have Six of Pentacles, which is charity, which is giving. And as far as and giving to others, and as far as in your next relationship, I see that as being more open and vulnerable with this new person. Maybe that's something that was missing in your past relationship, which is why you have the Eight of Cups in reverse. Because, when you have someone who's completely different from the past, that's when things start to really stand out to you, right? You're like, oh my God, like that past person would never do blah, 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 blah. The past situation was this way because, this and that, and I would never hear such and such. So at this new relationship with the new people you're considering, the person you pick, it may be the case that there's a lot of these stark differences that you may start to notice with your new person or the people that you start talking to. The Lovers in reverse, I would say watch out for a past person. If someone tries to, come back and be like, oh my gosh, you're so different now. That's so great. You're so cool. Of course you're cool. Doesn't mean you want them back. So just watch out for that. I mean, once you've done a lot of healing, right, a lot of good things are going to happen to you. And then people are going to be like, oh my God, I missed my shot. I could have been with Collective. And, you know, and they start hovering. And, you know, all of a sudden they're clingy and they didn't want to be in a relationship. I would watch out. Like, I wouldn't, you know, trust that they're different unless you've seen separately that they've done different things. I'm going to ask Spirit for a few more cards for you. Anything else for their next loving relationship? So. Anything else? Okay, anything else with the next love in their last Page of Cups? A lot of cups, okay. Can we get one more card, please? We got 2. 10 of Swords. Don't freak out on that card. And Knight of Coins in reverse. Okay, so your person's gonna come in pretty quickly. Don't let whoever old news is distract you, because I feel like they will get in the way of the person who's actually coming in. And I think the person who's coming in next is very stable in many different ways. The Coins is more like fiscal, but it just in general, I have a feeling that your next person is very stable, very grounded, but if you get caught up in like old habits, you're not going to be able to make them. On the 3 of Cups, I think that this is a time to be social. You probably already are, and I think that your new person is just going to add to that. So, I mean, all I really have to tell you is good news. Your next level is going to come in quickly. You're a very proactive person. You already know that, and you've already done a lot of the healing that you need to. Page of Coins in reverse. Maybe there's some money issues, some loan, something. I don't see it as a big issue. It's the only card we've got about any sort of issue, and it's minor. And, you know, maybe keep that in mind with the new person coming in, and maybe not spend so much going out, but generally speaking, I think you're okay. I'm not getting strong vibes from that card. And the 10 of Swords, that may even be that those money issues are over. Again, whatever you have going on, I feel almost like since you're working so much on yourself that you're already doing what you need to do to take care of that. And that maybe this person coming in, they're like, oh, well, I'm in a better place. You know, if one partner makes more and then it gets serious very quickly, then you'll probably be able to balance each other out. They'll probably be able to help you out, you know, paying bills by how much people make and things like that, balancing out in a way that makes sense for you guys. So, I see that it's here. I don't see it being a big issue. I mean, I don't know if you've had a lot of issues in love in the past, but it's looking like that is in the past. I think that you've done a lot of healing, and good job on that. Like, you're going to be forward from there. Can we get some advice for this group on their next love story? Let's see. She who nurtures, Colette. She who remains. Okay, those are very different cards. Okay. She who surrenders. Why are you getting such opposite cards? Empathy, gentleness, insight. Okay. Let me tell you what I see looking at these cards. Well, let me show you. Those are still. Yes. Okay. Let me tell you what I see with these cards. I'm seeing that maybe because you've moved on so quickly with healing yourself. And now that I kind of look at this closer, she kind of has a sad expression on her face. I'm seeing a kind of a confusion maybe in the identity shift, right? If you know you had a lot of work to do in a certain area before you got into your next relationship, you're like, I want to make sure I've dealt with this and that before I start dating somebody. It may be the case that you saw yourself as this nurturing, gentle, empathetic spirit, but that was harming you. Okay? And I see that because if you're always there to empathize with everyone who walks your path, or you have someone who's toxic, or you're too open in a way that makes sense, it can be draining. Or if that's just not authentically you, if you're, and I'm not saying like be mean, but if this is a facade, you're like, I need to be the nicest angel of all time, and that feels inauthentic to you, and then you feel like you're stuck in this fake sense of self, that can be very hard. And that may be what the healing had to do with. It was like this identity of like, okay, you don't have to be this person. You can be a little more, in your bad B energy, and that's fine. I will say with She Who Remains and She Who Instates, these are very strong, okay? Powerful devotion, provocation, and power. These are very strong energies. And there's nothing wrong with being a strong, confident person, okay? For my divine masculines, like, we're still talking to you, even though all these cards are women. But you don't have to overcompensate. So I would say with these cards, be careful of, trying too hard to be in your bad B era, because you felt like before you were stuck in a very, more reserved kind of personality or projection of yourself previously, okay? You don't have to be a doormat. You don't have to go all the way to the other extreme either. You can be somewhere in the middle. Now, I'm going to draw for you one more card. This one's from the Child of the Universe Oracle deck, and then that will be your reading. So, Spirit, can I get one more card of advice for their love life? Okay. So this one turned up. Okay, my spirits do what they want. We have Aries and we have Virgo. So we're going to look into both of those because Spirit does not listen to me. Spirit does what it wants. You got two. By the way, this is not even an astrology deck. So if you're Aries and you're Virgo and you're here, holla, like, directly towards you. But if you're not, that's fine as well. This is not an astrology deck. It just also has the astrology cards in there. It's interesting that two astrology cards. Yeah, maybe a lot of you with Aries and Virgo birthdays are here. So Aries, upbeat and ready for anything. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and the pioneer and the initiator, ruled by fire. The ram lives in the moment and moves fast and furiously. An action-oriented spirit and natural-born leadership impossible to ignore. Whew! Okay. The Aries spirit is always ready and prepared to take charge, conquer any challenge that meets, and to lead the way towards success. The ram is a courageous and competitive force that pioneers into new territories, carving the way for others to follow. Aries are fearless, born leaders that live life like warriors, infusing everything it touches with passion, fight, and strength. They cannot be tamed. They're incredibly enthusiastic and want to take every part of life head on. Arian energy has a tendency to act fast and think later. This explains why they love to start new things, but their short attention span doesn't give them much grace to finish them. They're bold, fast, headstrong, and forceful in nature, which gets them their results. However, their self-centered nature can often cause a few hiccups or problems in their relationships. If they haven't matured in their energy, lower conscious areas is also prone to outbursts of equal enthusiasm and aggression. Okay, so I think it speaks a little bit to the more powerful cards that we got in there. So be careful, okay? We don't want to be too, it's fine to move fast and to get what we want and be goal driven. We don't want to just like run people over in that process. Okay, and then we have Virgo. So where's Virgo? 211. Perfection comes in the form of Virgo, the sixth sign of the zodiac. This hardworking, detail-oriented, critical sign is represented by the Virgin for its pure and discriminating nature. Observant Virgo is quick to notice flaws and fix them, helping others reach their highest potential. Okay, this brings me back to Colette. Okay. So, I see how you may have felt pulled in different directions previously. Virgo is the sixth sign of the zodiac that likes to be exact in matters, striving for ultimate perfection. Virgos have very controlled, calculated personalities, quick to point out anything that's wrong or needs improvement within any given situation or someone else's character. This attention to detail, picking, and critical nature isn't all in vain. They have the earnest intention to help others, even if it doesn't always come across this way. Virgos have a sense of duty and work-ethic mentality that makes them one of the most productive signs. They're here to serve humanity, providing and work for the greater good. Okay, sorry I read it fast. Your fast energy. I'm sure you heard everything. Yeah, and these cards just kind of supported the same thing. I understand a little bit better now. Why you're moving so fast. And I would say in this case, this is part of your personality. I wouldn't encourage you too much to like slow down. I think that would just bore you or feel like someone's holding you back. But just I would concern myself more with merging these two energies, like I was saying previously. It feels like whoever's in this pile, you are both a nurturing person. You seem to be one of the person who's just like a fierce friend, right? You really protect your friends. That's what you care about. And so the people who see your softer side are not the people who you just see wherever. They get this person, Manatili. Okay. And, that's fine. But for your next relationship, and again, I think you've worked most of this out because you're very related. I think that you're going to really come into your own. I think you're going to really come in as this new person. And it's going to happen quickly for you because you are not wasting time. So I hope this reading was helpful. I'm excited to hear more. Again, this is Exalted Empress Tarot. And if you would like to like or subscribe, I would very much appreciate it. It would help with the channel. Thank you.